Hi, David Thexton here, and welcome to this podcast of Everything Business Consulting, brought to you by the ConsultX Business Success Program. This weekly podcast is for those of you out there who are a business consultant and want to improve your skills and success, or you're new to this profession and want to become a business consultant. You may be working in corporate management and you want to get out of the rat race and start a new career, or you may be an accountant or an ex-business owner. The common theme here is that you're looking for a new profession, one that enables you to help business owners plan your own lifestyle, earn a lot of money, and have the option to build a consulting firm if you want to take it further. ConsultX is an online cloud-based business consulting application that has everything you need if you want to become a successful business consultant or a better business consultant. With over a decade of development, ConsultX offers you a unique opportunity to enter the world of business consulting with a complete system ready to run straight out of the box. In other words, once you sign up, you have access to everything you need to build a business for yourself. Get out of the rat race and invest in yourself with your own consulting business, manage your own time, and enjoy a lifestyle business where you are the boss and you and your family benefit 100% from your efforts. ConsultX provides a complete web-based training system where you work your way through at your own pace, learning all the important lessons that we've learned over a decade of being in this profession. The training can be as short as 5 days, or you can space it out over a few weeks. If this sounds like you, then the contact details will be at the end of this podcast. Hi John, welcome to our interview section today. John's based in Gisborne, which is a small city on the east coast of New Zealand. I think it's about 30,000 people. And John's been with us for approximately 4 years. So John, are you all fired up and ready to go?
Absolutely, David. Fire away.
Was I right about the population?
No, you're a bit shy. It's 45.
Oh, it's gone up a bit. I used to have a girlfriend down there. I used to drive down there every weekend. Yes, long drive.
You're responsible for an increase in the population.
I don't know about that. So you've been involved with business consulting for some time now. Can you tell us and our audience what you were doing before you became a consultant?
Surely, David. I've been involved in developing a number of companies from scratch, and most recently developed an international publishing brand, Milli Molly, from an idea, which grew into being licensed to more than 100 countries and was translated in 34 different languages. During the course of that, I negotiated a 4-party tri-country television and merchandising agreement with 2 television series being shown in more than 80 countries. I personally undertook the international tax structuring and prepared all the international contracts. So I guess that was a pretty solid background for consulting.
Yeah, I'd say it is. What attracted you to business consulting?
I've been doing some mentoring and consulting on the side for some 20 years. So when I was looking at semi-retirement, it was a natural step for me. For my sins, I'd completed an executive MBA at Auckland University, so I had the theory as a backup to my practical experience.
That's a good background to have, though, because you've done a bit of everything by the sounds of it. When you became a consultant, what was your experience in your first 6 months?
Very busy and certainly hugely satisfying.
Could you tell listeners how you acquired clients in the beginning and how you get them now?
My initial clients were obtained by cold call walk-ins, meeting and engaging with the business owner, taking some time to learn about their business and the challenges they faced, and generally just building a rapport with them. The ConsultX program that I've always worked with provides a very detailed roadmap that one can follow, but it's all about building relationships and trust in the first instance.
Yes, it certainly is, and it's important to keep that relationship and trust going over the long term. We've got some of our people in the network have got clients that are coming up for their 6th year now. You've got some long-term clients, haven't you?
Yes, pretty well. All of my clients from the start are still with me. Certainly, I don't think I've terminated with a client in under 3 years. Yes, it is a long-term process. There's no magic wands. But having the right resources at your fingertips is fundamental to developing a structured business plan and properly engaging the client in that process. When consulting to a wide range of businesses, my personal knowledge of the intricacies of each business is naturally limited. But ConsultX provides me with the questions and the processes that tease out the answers I need. More importantly, the answers the owner needs to learn from to develop and grow the business with sustainable profitability.
And that's really important. A lot of people in the network tell me that they like ConsultX and the Business Success Program because it puts every business kind of on a railway track. So everybody's doing the same thing. It's like a baseline plan for any business, and then of course other things come in, and things like additional services and other activities. Can you tell our listeners how many clients you have today and quickly what type of businesses they are?
I consult to about a dozen businesses, ranging from startups to well-established international businesses. Local businesses include tradespeople who are good at what they do, but not good at business. National businesses needing to manage growth with capital adequacy and necessary resources. International businesses with equity fundraising and developing a presence in offshore markets. Having the right structure that's fit for purpose is a critical success factor.
Could you tell me about client losses? And you mentioned earlier on that you haven't lost very many. So can you just give our listeners a bit of an overview on those client losses and what you could have done to save them, if you wanted to, that is, of course?
Happily, I can say that I've never lost a client through dissatisfaction. On average, I'm achieving my client-driven goals in 3 years, and when we have done that, they're usually ready, willing and capable to continue on their own. All systems and processes are well entrenched, and the culture of the business is generally transformed. Sorry about that. As is
That's
the...
okay.
I'm still in demand.
Yes.
But yes, all business systems processes well entrenched, as is the business knowledge and capability of the owner. So I couldn't be more delighted with the past 3 years of solid consulting. So if I had my time again, I'm not sure that I'd do anything differently.
No, you've been very successful in retaining them over the years. Can you give our listeners a couple of examples of how you've helped your clients to build a better business?
I think firstly my style of consulting is very fluid and responsive and not as tightly structured as some. Many consider me as a mentor as much as a business consultant, tapping into years of business experience. But first and foremost, I identify any issues facing the business on a weekly basis and deal with them appropriately at the time, correcting or instituting a system or process that will avoid repetition. Secondly, every business needs to be properly structured, properly funded and properly resourced with well-trained and motivated staff to be successful. The fourth leg on the chair is accurate and timely monthly financial reporting. When I've got those key elements in place, I can establish profitability and have the right platform for growth. I took one client from a 1.2 million turnover with just a 30,000 net profit before tax and depreciation to a 3.9 million turnover and a 438,000 net profit before tax and depreciation in just 2.5 years. So that was a big win. With another client, we didn't increase turnover at all from 1.3 million, but we increased the net profit before tax and depreciation from 43,000 to 260,000 in 3 years. That equates to a substantial increase in value of both companies, particularly at a PE of 2.5, adding value at 2.5 times net profit before tax and depreciation. Huge bottom line profit to those clients.
That's really good. There's two excellent results there. Using the ConsultX Business Success Program, what's been the average lifetime of your clients? And as you mentioned earlier, you said that quite a long time. So can you just make a comment on that?
Yeah, I guess at the moment, David, it's sort of 3 years and counting. But I would say that's about right. I make it clear to my clients at the outset that it's a 3 to 5 year program, and I can't fly in and wave a magic wand. Good things take time.
Do you? This is just going sideways a little bit here. Do you think that clients ever get to a stage where you can cut the apron strings and let them go?
Yes, I do, and I think some clients get to the stage where they feel that they've extracted the best value for money from me. They've got the systems and processes in place, and they want to go ahead on their own, and I'm very happy with that.
Yep.
I would suspect one or two of them may end up by wandering back, but they know they've always got me there as a backstop.
Yeah. Yeah, you're always there. That was one of them on the phone before.
Yes.
Can you tell our listeners a bit about your lifestyle as a consultant today when compared to a normal 9-to-5 employment? I don't think you were a 9-to-5 employment type guy beforehand, but a lot of them ask us a lot of questions about what does a typical day look like for a business consultant.
Yep. Semi-retirement, I guess, is my sort of situation. So, on average, I would spend just 3.5 days a week consulting, and have the flexibility to adjust my program. Often, clients doesn't suit them for time set down, and I've got a bit of flexibility to adjust for them. Some of my clients are locked into specific days and times, while others are content to float. I generally see them each week, but the more established clients are fortnightly. I guess I'm pretty well paid for what I do, but the financial results I achieve for my clients more than offset the investment that they make in me.
What would you say that is? Would it be like a 5-to-1 or 10-to-1 sort of return for them?
Varies, I guess, from client to client. But basically, unless I can sort of see about a 300% increase happening over and above my fees, I wouldn't take them on.
Yep.
I don't think I've disappointed anyone as yet.
Oh, that's good to hear. Could you give our listeners a bit of advice on the best way to enter the consulting profession and why?
I think you've got to be suitably armed with business experience, the necessary resources, and a passion to help others succeed. Join a good firm that will provide you with on-the-job training and lots of support.
What John's referring to there is John owns a consulting firm, so he has associate consultants working within his firm that do the same thing, but John mentors them. And to close the interview, can you give our listeners a couple of gold nuggets of advice that will help them in their consulting career?
Firstly, when engaging with prospects or clients, use 2 ears and 1 mouth in that ratio. Secondly, make ConsultX the centrepiece of your business planning. It will help fill in all the gaps for you and give you the necessary confidence to be successful in your quest for continuous improvement.
Well, John, thank you for that frank and interesting interview. I'm sure that our listeners will have gained a lot from it.
Thank you, David. I'm pleased to be on the show, and good luck to anybody coming into the profession. I will see you on the ConsultX Facebook pages and look forward to it.
That's great. Thank you, John. My definition of a lifestyle business is one where you decide the hours you work, who you want to work with, and how much you want to earn. Many people I talk to describe in detail the drudgery of their current job, hours of commuting, boring meetings, little chance of promotion, and remuneration just enough to live on, with little or no chance of improvement, and the very real possibility of being made redundant if the worst happens. Imagine a business where you can take the kids to school when you want, have a 3 or 4 day weekend when you want. Cut out the commuting and have complete freedom of your time. Business consulting is a business where you get paid for what's between your ears, not the hours you work. Working on a percentage of revenue fee basis frees you from time-based earning systems and takes away all income ceilings. I've worked as a consultant from home since 2005, and right now I'm looking out of my office window at the green rolling pastures of New Zealand, about 50 kilometres south of Auckland. Fantastic. And I work the hours that suits me. And I can take a holiday whenever I want to. But in order to move forward as a business consultant, you have to make some important decisions and make that change. You've already started that change by listening to this podcast. This podcast is all about that change, and each week we'll be presenting a number of topics and features that will be of interest to you, whether you are already a consultant or you're looking to become one. We'll interview people in our network and we'll dig deep into what makes them tick and why they have become a successful consultant. We'll read out your letters and questions and answer them for you. We'll discuss a case history from our client files. We'll discuss a special topic each week from our listeners' suggestions. And we'll interview people who are not in our network but have some interesting information for you as you start work with business owners. Bottom line is, if you're a business consultant and you want to improve or you want to become a business consultant, then this is the podcast for you. If you want to get more information right now, then go to www.consultx.com. I'll repeat that, www.consultx.com. There you will find everything you need to know to become part of our global ConsultX network. Our podcast will be loaded up on iTunes and Stitcher and sent to you immediately, provided of course that you're a subscriber. It's called Everything Business Consulting, so sign up now. It's free, and of course the sign up button is behind the settings button, which looks like a gear out of a gearbox with teeth on it. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of Everything Business Consulting.